Welcome into Seahawks Today. I'm your host, Will Ortner, and no, I'm not coming to you from the lovely Chat Sports HQ down here in Dallas, Texas. It's at home. It's from my apartment. I was supposed to have the day off, and then, I was listening to some people talk about the Seahawks joint practice. I had my own opinions, and frankly, I wanted to make sure that I got them out to you, the people. I don't want you guys to miss out on any news, information, or content when it comes to your Seattle Seahawks, and so I'm right here. I'm making sure that I get it out to you even on an off day because you know what? The grind doesn't stop. The hustle doesn't stop. So today on Seahawks Today, we're going to talk about the joint practice that the Seahawks had against the Packers. There were some good takeaways. Obviously, everyone was fighting, kung fu fighting, normal fighting, UFC, MMA. I think Dana White probably tuned in. He was excited about what was going on at practice. I want to talk about some of the good things, some of the bad things about fighting. I want to make sure that I give some highlights to some key players that absolutely balled out. Arroyo got the highlight of the camp. Jaxon Smith-Njigba, obviously dominant, clearly turning into Sam Darnold's favorite wide receiver is what it sounds like. We're going to talk about the defense as well. Doesn't sound like they had as good of a day as the offense did, but at the same time, it sounds like they came in and they performed fairly well once they got their cleats figured out. Lastly, we're going to jump into the Jalen Milroe getting the start in preseason game number 3. He's going to go the entire way, Mike Macdonald said. I want to talk about how he's performed so far in preseason, how he's performed in practices, and then really what I want to see from him, right? He's still in that project mode. You're going to see him, I believe, in certain packages, especially in the red zone when you can add him in to the QB run game, but there's still a lot of improvement that he clearly needs to make before he has any serious consideration at becoming a starter, not just for the Seahawks, but in the NFL. I do want to make sure before we go into any of that, though, of course, that I let you know about our watch party. On the Pacific time zone, the Seahawks are going to kick off this game at 1 o'clock. That means at 12, myself and Colin Brown, we are going to go live for our watch party. We're going to do our 1-hour tailgate just like we always do. We're going to have some adult beverages. There's going to be some hot jelly beans. Maybe there's going to be some punishments. Maybe we're going back and forth with the Packers. You don't want to miss any of that. So if you're in the Pacific time zone, remember noon. If you're in Mountain, remember 1. If you're Central, remember 2. And if you're on the Eastern time zone, remember 3 o'clock. We are going to go live an hour before the game. You don't want to miss it. So make sure that you are tuned in to Seahawks Today. Hit the subscribe button. It'll give you the notification. You'll be able to join up with us, have the watch party, have a conversation about the Seahawks, and frankly, just enjoy football with your bros. Now, I want to get into this fights right away. Everyone, you see it all over X. Oh my God, everyone was throwing punches. There were fights. There were people being shoved to the ground, people getting punched in the helmet, helmets getting ripped off. It was crazy, mass hysteria, cats and dogs are fighting, everyone's going nuts. And I just want to pump the brakes and just say, everyone calm down. Fighting, I don't want to say that it's encouraged anymore in football, but it is expected. These things happen. Every single time that two good teams have a joint practice, these fights occur. And I do want to emphasize good because I think when you play football, there is an alpha male mentality. And I'm not trying to be one of those lame, you got to be an alpha male, not a beta male to be successful. But in football, you got to have a screw loose a little bit. You have to be ready for prime time at any moment. And there's a lot of times where when you have two alpha males going against each other and one beats the other, there is some trash talk going back and forth. Now, the big fight that everyone is talking about is Packers right tackle Zach Tom going after Devon Witherspoon and going after Ernest Jones. Now, Ernest Jones did come in and kind of be that safety blanket for Devon Witherspoon, but think about it. What is Devon Witherspoon known for doing? He's known for flying around, making plays, and talking trash. And I'm sure he came in and made a play, and Zach Tom didn't like it. As an offensive lineman, you're usually the enforcer in these situations. If a skill player on the other team makes a play against your guy and they're talking trash and in your guy's face, you got to make sure that you go and protect your dudes. You're a bigger guy. It's the older brother, little brother type deal. And so I'm sure that Devon Witherspoon made a play like he always does, and then Zach Tom took offense to it. I know there was conversation from the Green Bay side where Kenneth Walker ended up having a big run or ended up getting into the end zone, and now he's talking trash, and that led to another scuffle between some Green Bay Packers and the Seahawks because they took offense to Kenneth Walker talking some trash and letting everybody know, hey man, I'm back. I'm one of the best running backs in the NFL, and you're all going to give me the credit that I deserve. So much so to the point where there was a Green Bay Packer making bald jokes about him, which as a 20-year-old, I guess I should say, I'm not a 21-year-old, I'm 27, who is also bald. I felt like it was kind of unnecessary to take shots at 20-year-olds or 20-somethings who are bald. Hurt my feelings a little bit. Didn't appreciate it. But that's just a part of football. Fights happen. It's not a normal job. I can't walk into Chat Sports HQ and just go slug someone. That's not fair. That's not right. And I should get in a lot of trouble, not just at work, but probably legally as well. In the NFL, it's a different animal. Sometimes you have to fight. Sometimes there is trash talking involved. Sometimes it isn't the most safe work environment. And honestly, the way I saw the Seahawks handle it, I was very impressed. I didn't feel like for the most part they were starting it. Maybe there was some trash talking going back and forth, but there was never a situation where a Seahawks player gets beat and then just absolutely cold cocks someone, right? It was, you're competing against another athlete. It's competitive, back and forth, fiery. You're trying to make a big play, and then all of a sudden, hey, you get into a little bit of a scuffle. Couple teammates come in, they protect you. That's the way it should be. Ernest Jones coming in to protect Devon Witherspoon is important because that shows that this team cares and they respect each other and they want the best for each other. This is a quote from Kobe Bryant. I want to make sure that I read it. It says, "We got each other's back, man. We brothers. We go to war with each other every day. Practice hard with each other. That's what it's about. That's what brotherhood is about." And I could not agree with Kobe Bryant more. Football is about a brotherhood. You are going to war. And that is the opinion that these guys have when they step on the field. And you need to trust that you have someone who is playing next to you that has your back and is willing to fight for you. Everyone growing up has that friend group where you had 3 or 4 dudes where it didn't matter. If you guys were going to get into trouble, no one was ratting the other one out, and the other 2 were going to protect the one that got themselves into trouble. That's what football is all about. Jake Bobo had this to say. Also, want to make sure, clearly not an enforcer. He said that he liked the fights. He thought it was fun. And for me, sometimes football players are a little bit crazy. Jake Bobo was running into fights, not necessarily to be the enforcer, but if Kenneth Walker's in a fight, he's going in to protect the money because he knows what his role is. His role is to make sure that Kenneth Walker can talk all the trash he wants and perform at a high level without accidentally breaking his wrist or knuckle or something because he punched someone in the helmet. That's what I love to see. It's a brotherhood. This team cares about each other. You know what other Seahawks team cared about each other? The Legion of Boom. When Richard Sherman got into a fight, Earl and Cam were right there to back him up. And Bobby was there too. I'm not saying that's what this Seahawks team is, but I love the culture that's being built. It's a work hard, fight for each other type of culture that Macdonald is fostering here, and I love that. Macdonald had this to say on the fights: you want your guys to defend their teammates. There's a line. Whether we go past the line, I don't think we did, which is good. I'd agree with Mike Macdonald on that. Back into the quote. Our guys stayed composed. But some things tend to happen. People are going to react to a certain extent, but I think our guys handled it well. I don't think I could say it better myself, Mike Macdonald. Your guys handled it well. You didn't start the fights. You came in and you finished them. And your boys protected each other. There was never a fight where one guy was by himself. It was you mess with one, you mess with the whole crew, and I love that. I think that's an attitude and a culture that needed to continue to be built in Seattle. I think Pete Carroll did it well early. It fell off a little bit late. I'm glad to see that it's coming back in Seattle. Now, some of my key performers. Jaxon Smith-Njigba, it seemed like every time I refreshed Twitter, it was another JSN big catch, another touchdown, another third down. He balled out. He was a huge proponent of this team in the red zone. He had multiple touchdowns. He had a touchdown in 7-on-7 as well. When they were going through third down progression, Sam Darnold continued to find JSN, and I think that we are going to see him go on a generational run might be extreme, but he is going to have a fantastic year this year. And I think he's cleared himself, one, as not just the number one wide receiver on this team, but he's going to be a guy that you should be talking about as a top 10. I know that I fired off a tweet today where Fox Sports had him as like an honorable mention for their top 10 NFL wide receivers. And I think that's ridiculous at this point. They had at least one, possibly two rookies above him. You've seen what JSN is. He's been in the league multiple years now, and every single year he's gotten better. He's just going to continue to do that this year. Now, will he put up necessarily the same numbers that he did in the Ryan Grubb offense? Not necessarily. It's not an air raid system. So he's going to probably get less targets just because you're going to run the football more in the Kubiak system. Means you have to take advantage of those targets. Can JSN do that? I 100% think that he can, and I love that he's already building that rapport with Darnold. The other big one and the big highlight was Elijah Arroyo, right? He has the big one-handed catch. He falls into the end zone. Everyone's hyping him up. It's going all over Twitter. I've seen a slow-mo version of it. I think it's gotten the father stretch my hands treatment at this point. If you don't know, look it up. They're always pretty funny. But I feel like Elijah Arroyo, every time I hear something about him, he's getting better at X. He's improving his blocking this week. His pass catching has improved. Darnold's trust with Arroyo is improving to the point where at this, I think he's number 2 at that tight end position. A.J. Barner is going to be number 1. That's fine. But now you have Elijah Arroyo, who's going to be that number 2. It's what you brought him in for when you drafted him out of Miami. And I think that this adds a very dangerous element to this Seahawks team. You now have 2 tight ends in Barner and in Arroyo who are not afraid to block, but also are good elements to add into this passing offensive attack. Right now, I like Noah Fant. I thought he was a good tight end. He's more of a new age tight end. We went through the same thing when Seattle signed Jimmy Graham. They are great pass catchers. They are not run blockers. And when you play tight end in this Kubiak offense, you have to be a run blocker. So Arroyo taking steps forward, and I think that's where I'm watching him most right now is in his run blocking ability because the pass catching and the overall ball skills from that tight end spot, he's had it. You saw it at Miami. You knew he was great. It wasn't just Cam Ward that made him look good. He made himself look good. And so I think that the more we can see that improvement in the run blocking, the more you can get him out in 12 personnel. That's going to force defenses to put more guys in the box. Now you've got a linebacker one-on-one against Arroyo. I like that matchup every single day of the week. Or you're going to bring a safety in there so they can guard him better in the passing game. Now I like attacking with some run blocking, using him to get out on those safeties, and now you have big runs for Charbonnet or for Walker, or who knows, maybe George Halani or Martinez as well, whoever's running the ball back there for Seattle. I think that these are all important things for Arroyo to improve on, and I want to make sure that I highlight him continuing to improve upon these things. You are going to see a special offense this year in Seattle, and it's going to hinge on guys like Elijah Arroyo and A.J. Barner taking that next step and not being afraid to do the dirty work so they can do the fun part later. Defensively, Seahawks ended up looking okay. You had some slipping issues, so there were a lot of players that went in and got new cleats. I know the one that's making the rounds right now, I believe it was Musgraves. It might have been Kraft. Had a big catch over Julian Love where Love's in good position for coverage, and then the tight end makes a move. Not that good of one, just a simple cut. And Love goes to cut with him. His feet slide out from underneath him. That's all the step the tight end needs. He makes a nice little catch, and the Packers got a first down on that play. Look, I'm not going to read too much into it. I'm also not going to make excuses. You knew what you were playing on. You were playing on grass. Wear thicker cleats, man. Wear the 1 inch instead of the half-inch studs, right? Go into it prepared to fight. I did like, again, most of the fights were coming from the Seahawks defense. I like that you got that nastiness. I like that you got that edge. I think that teams with an edge always perform better when it comes to crucial moments, key moments. There's a reason why the bad boy Pistons won for as many years as they did, right? Is because when the going got going, they could beat on teams, they could lean on teams. I think the Seahawks defense can do the same thing. Obviously, slipping being an issue. Don't want to make it a, hey, don't worry about it, the sky isn't falling type of a deal. But at the same time, I would have liked to see a little bit more of a, hey, the defense came in and they had a bunch of sacks. That didn't seem to happen. Now in the red zone, 7-on-7, they looked very strong. To be fair, again, you're going up against, for the most part, Malik Willis, who will be the backup in Green Bay. Jordan Love did get some time in 7-on-7. You shut him down for the most part. He only went 3 for 12. He did get 2 touchdowns. It was a red zone period. Basically, any completed pass is going to be a touchdown in a red zone period. I do want to say, though, I don't want to jump too far into the boat on making Jordan Love go 3 for 12 on 7-on-7. If you're in the red zone and you're doing 7-on-7, they have to throw. Well, guess what? You're going to be more in a traditional pass coverage. That drill is more designed, I believe, for the defense, at least in my eyes. Now that's biased. I'm a former offensive player. It's designed for the defense to be a little bit better. That being said, I still like that you were winning against the number 1 QB over in Green Bay. Now, the last thing that I want to get into is Jalen Milroe. He's going to get the start. A lot of people have been clamoring for him. I did a short earlier on this week where I talked about why Seattle's development plan for him is much better than the Colts' development plan for Anthony Richardson, and I still believe that, but I think I need to see the training wheels come off of Milroe. He's had a very tight playbook since he's been in Seattle. Right now, he's only 9 for 15 when it comes to passing. He has over 100 yards, but again, that's over 2 games. They haven't asked him to throw the ball a lot. He's ran the ball well. He's got over 50 rushing yards. He only has like 7-8 attempts. So he's running the ball effectively. He had a big 20-yard run looking super fast against the Raiders. And I think in this game, I want the Governors off. Let him make mistakes. Let him try and throw a couple deep balls. Let him go and attack this Green Bay Packers defense. One, because I think you're going to get a better look at some players like Derek Young, potentially. Will he make the roster? Will he not? Hey, this is a great opportunity for him to show that he can go catch a deep ball. He can go get open, on a deep post. He can go get open and make a guy miss or two. I think this is a great spot to use their ability at wide receiver to help grow Milroe as well. Let him try and take a couple deep shots. Don't ask him to throw the checkdowns today. If it's open, let him go deep. Let him use his legs to see if he can scamper around. Who cares, right? If he gets banged up, nicked up, that's fine. You got the next week off. Give him some time. Let him come back. Torrey Horton's doing it right now. Give him that space that he needs. Remember, this regular season, he is going to be a gadget guy for you. You are going to use him more likely in a certain package. So let the Governor go off in this final preseason game. Show us what everyone wants. He's going to have some good things that he does. He's also going to have some bad things that he does. And that's okay. I'm okay with him having a bad interception here and there. It's part of the learning process. And there's only one way to learn in my eyes, and that's by doing. So let Jalen Milroe get after it. I think it'll be fun. I think everyone should make sure that they're tuned in to Seahawks Today so you can hang out with Colin and I again. We're going to be hanging out, having a grand old time at our watch party. If you're tuned into Seahawks Today, you'll hang out with us. Any questions you want answered, who we think will make the team, who we think won't make the team, if we think there's going to be a trade, or if you just want to hang out and talk with your boys, we're going to be here on Seahawks Today. So make sure that you tune in, and I'll see you next time.